How you doing, YouTube? I'm Manny. Welcome back to the channel. So it's been a while since I've actually put up any updates to my project Honda. A lot of stuff has been going on, and I just haven't really been motivated to put up any videos. It's been taking a lot of time just even making videos. So I've done a lot. I just haven't showed you guys. So I'm gonna show you guys what I've actually done so far. And as you can see here behind me, I did move this car into another storage unit. This is a 10 by 30 and is actually right next to my other 10 by 30. So I kind of got two 10 by 30s right now. So you can see the car is just sitting here. It's on Prelude blades right now. I use CRV front spindles, and I had my Prelude calipers laying on a shelf. So I put that in, and I had new calipers. And I have these Duralast like racing pads, carbon fiber, that I put in there. Um, the brakes are not bled yet because I still have to do the rear. The rear is still 4 lug, so I have to figure out if I'm gonna put the what is it, Prelude hub and bearings to the rear disc. And these blades here, just like this, I got all 4 of them for $60 off of Facebook Marketplace. But obviously, I'm gonna redo them. I'm gonna get new tires. But I thought it was a really good price. Got the intake on here. Got this all situated. Right now, what am I doing? Oh, I'm messing with the wiring now. This is the temperature sensor. I snagged this off a car, and I pretty much put it into this hole here, threaded it in there. I tapped it and drilled it, and then made sure it threaded, sealed it, and then I kind of made my own wire harness here. You can see this wire harness. I think this one goes to ground. I think because that's what black and green is. Black is always like a ground or something, and then the blue, it's gonna be ran into the wire harness in there. And obviously you can see I'm gonna do a quick disconnect at this portion just in case I ever want to take it apart. I can just quick disconnect. So this nylon thing here, pretty much ordered off eBay a long time ago, so I have a lot of this. Also, I worked on making a harness and immobilizer bypass. So you can see I have this. This is gonna plug into the interior fuse, and then this is the immobilizer, stock immobilizer with the key, and it's pretty much 2 wires have to be ran to the ECU. So it's gonna be these 2 wires that I'm gonna run to the ECU, and I pretty much taped everything off here, or heat shrunk them, the wires that you're not gonna be using, and these are the 2 wires that are connected. So these 2 wires are gonna go to 12 volt. So I made it look pretty Gucci. I'm not gonna lie. It took me a little bit of time to do that, but that's how everything is now. Let me see if I can get another shot of how this is looking here. 3. And since I got this new 10 by 30, I needed new storage, so I built this. It's pretty much 8 by 8, and I try to make it as sturdy as possible. As you can see, I made it tall enough so I can slide a single cam engine in there. And then I got these storage totes. Most of these are empty. Wait, I think they're empty. Also, yeah, these are empty. This is a little full, and those are empty. So I have a lot of storage here. I kind of wanted to leave this one open in case I wanted to use it as a workbench area. I was thinking about putting a pegboard, and then this area here, I definitely need to make another shelf because I want to put more stuff. But you can see how much room is in here already. Even with the shelf, I have like 10 feet of just room, and the vehicle is sitting exactly where I want it to sit because I can work from the front and have all this open space here. And so this is actually how I like it, and I have some file cabinet storage. So the other garage is here, so I kind of want to take apart this wall up to here because I know my shelf is here in the back. So I kind of want to take this wall apart so I can kind of connect these two. The only thing that's keeping them together kinda is like this beam here, which I can cut and re-weld that if I wanted to. And the vehicle here, if you followed me, you would have seen that this was an all-wheel drive setup. A buyer needed a K-swap, so I sold the swap and I kept the transmission. I made it the K24A2 with a 6-speed, and I delivered it to a customer a little bit past Austin. It was about a 3-hour drive. So I have the all-wheel drive K-series transmission sitting there, and I'm kind of losing interest in this because the EG is taking up a lot of my time. There's not a lot of parts for this, so I'm gonna be honest. I might just end up junking it, having someone come get this out of here, because my garage is like getting really messy right now. I gotta clean all this up, and it probably would have been better if the vehicle was sitting up front and have all this stuff back there, seeing how I had the other next door set up. But I just have transmissions everywhere right now because I just been going back and forth with parts and trying to get stuff for the EG. You can see I have my welders and stuff back here, so I have like no room moving around back here. So I'm gonna try to fix it by just getting rid of the car, focusing on the EG, and going on from there. All right, guys. So now we are in the interior on the passenger side. I'm gonna be honest with you. I never wired a K series, so I'm learning as I go. So the whole interior harness is the harness is bought inside. This is that little fan, the temperature harness, and I have the ground with the ring connector, and I have my quick disconnect here with the heat shrink. And this is for the temperature. So this is the conversion harness, which is already labeled. So there's a bunch of labels on here. Coolant temp. So I'm going to crimp those connectors together, and that'll be like a quick disconnect for that one. And then you have other stuff like charge light. I don't even know what ELD stands for. You got the fuel pump relay, and you have fan switch, which I have to wire my fan at some point. But we'll do one step at a time. I'm gonna try to just knock out this one, and then connect the ground over here somewhere. So you can see how like this is kind of a mess, kinda right now. And I don't even know where this goes. Like I don't know where any of this stuff goes, but it's all brought in through here, and you learn as you go. So. Alright guys, so I was looking on YouTube for a little while to find out what other people have done for their K-swaps as far as some of the wiring. Found a video, helped me out a little bit with a couple wires. I'll show you here. So pretty much I found out where the ELD went to, and went to the original harness along with the fuel pump relay to the original harness. So it was 2 wires. I crimped here, but I actually soldered the wires on the crimp because these little connectors are known for the wires sliding out, which I had the wires slide out earlier. So with these I like to add a little solder at the end of the wire, so that way it prevents the wire from slipping out later on. So that's what I did with these, and I connected them. Wanted to use these type of connectors because again I wanted to quick disconnect in case I ever want to take apart this harness. I like these connectors better because you can heat shrink them and stuff. So I gotta add tape to these ends here because I spliced into them, so it's like a T with a big solder in them. So I gotta add some tape around those, and that's pretty much it. And I'll do the fan switch another time because I still am working on a fan bracket. Charge light seems like something for battery. And the mill, I gotta find out where this goes. So that's what I have for right now. Alright guys, a few days have passed since the last clip. Right now I've just finished working on installing the battery and alternator cables. I'm still using the OEM kinda cables down here, and I pretty much soldered whatever I could, and then extended them with 6 gauge wire all the way to the fuse over here. Um, so I'll show you guys right here. So these are my connections. This is battery and this is alternator. I use the cloth tape, wrapped it all the way around, and it's connected here. I tried to use some crimps and it wasn't working, so I pretty much soldered, taped it all up. The solder isn't pretty, but so that's what I could tell you about that. I also ended up just making a list here of stuff that I need to get done, because I find myself not paying attention on what I'm supposed to be doing and kind of lose track a little bit. So right now I got the battery and alternator wiring out the way. Next is valve cover gasket, spark plugs, and then start adding my oil. And then I have to get in contact with my K-tuner dealer today to find out if I can drop off my ECU. I don't think the immobilizer I was trying to do is going to work, because I spent all day yesterday figuring out the wiring for the immobilizer, and it's just taking way too much time. So there is a K-tuner dealer about 15 minutes from me. So I'm going to head over there and I'm going to make sure that I have the right ECU and bring it to him. And I think he said for around $600 he can mess with the ECU and it can be a full dyno tune and all that stuff. But let me do one thing at a time. Finish the battery cables. Now I'm going to work on the valve cover gasket and the spark plugs. Guys, welcome back. So I had to fast forward a little bit to try to get this done as soon as possible. As you can see here, finished up putting on the valve cover, new gasket, new seals, and obviously these little extra bolts are like really good to have. So lucky I grabbed enough from the junkyard. Probably when I go to the junkyard again, I'm gonna grab extras because I don't have any of these little 10 mil covers, and I need to find if I have the the dipstick somewhere laying around, or I'm gonna have to source that. But this is all done, so I have 3 things completed off my little checklist here. Next is engine oil and transmission oil, but I have to hold off on that because I just got off the phone with the tuner. He said he's available right now, so I can drop off my ECU and hopefully hold a spot for me for the dyno. What he was explaining to me is the dyno is a hub dyno, so you just goes onto the wheels. So that's actually my benefit because this car needs an alignment, and he said it doesn't need an alignment, that it's just gonna go directly to the wheels. So I guess that's really good because then you can find out wheel horsepower, I guess. But let me go drop off this ECU, meet this guy for the first time, and I'll come right back. Alright, how you doing, guys? Welcome back. So I finished sharpening off the ECU to the tuner. He's gonna give me a call back today. I can pick up tomorrow. But right now we're gonna finish working on this. So I need to add the oil and add the transmission oil, and then we'll go on from there. So I'm gonna put you guys on the tripod and let's get started. Alright, how you doing, everyone? Back. I'm on the back of the car now. I got the old fart can out. You can see how just massive and ricer that this exhaust is, or muffler was. So I just took the hacksaw, chopped it off on the back. Now I'm gonna prep everything for tomorrow so I can come in and weld it. But you can see, I'll show you guys right here. So this is where I'll be working out of. Let's see. So, yeah. All right, so we'll get started tomorrow on that portion, and I'll see you guys then.
I swear I like your style. Put you in Chanel cause it's just perfect for your smile. Girl, I swear for you I'd run the world, I'd run the miles. The way you look at me, I think I'm going insane. It's crazy how we started not to
hello everyone. So right now it's the end of the next day. I finished up welding the exhaust. It was a lot of work. I really didn't have enough time to get the video footage for you guys because it was just going to get in the way of trying to weld the exhaust up. But I did the best I could. Welded on a cherry bomb muffler. It's all stainless steel. The muffler itself, the tips are 3 inches. So I had to extend it with a large piece of tube that I got from O'Reilly's. And I had to use some adapters to plug into the exhaust that was there. So I'll show you guys that real quick. These rods I got at Home Depot, and I just cut it, welded it to make the angle, and then welded it, tack welded it onto here. But it's not going anywhere. I'm not really too happy about the welds. It's pretty hard to weld in here. Even on your back, it's just hard. But it's all there. It's not moving anywhere. Also, I had to weld a flange that's gonna attach to the headers, and those headers are circuit work headers. But everything is intact. Shouldn't be any leaks. Everything's tight and not loose. So I got the exhaust all completed in my book. Another thing that I ended up getting done was the radiator fan mount. I finally mounted it. I had to do a little bit of fabrication with a bracket because this is exactly how I wanted to mount it. So I had some steel plates, made an angle, and then drilled some holes. So the fan is holding by these bolts here, and it's also holding on the bottom there the same exact way. So this fan is not moving anywhere. Radiator is not moving anywhere. So now it's just a matter of wiring the fan, and that is pretty much it. What I have to do now is I have about an hour before I have to meet up with the tuner to go pick up the ECU. All I have to do left is wire the fan, bleed the brakes, and do the throttle cable. But I think that's going to be the end of this video. I'm going to try to get the next video for that, and maybe we'll get a startup soon. So thanks for tuning in. This is Mega Manny 009.